Hey you guys, this is our lesson for Thursday, January 20th. For this lesson, you should be on page, let me scroll down, I forgot already, 217 and 218. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in and get started. Number 1 says Alexandra ran 2 4/5 miles last weekend. This weekend, she ran 3 1/5 mile. How many miles did she run in all? All right, so if I want to know in all, those are clue words that I'm going to be adding or subtracting? Hopefully you said adding because you would be correct. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding 2 4/5. I'm going to write it on a separate piece of paper off to the side, 2 4/5. And I'm adding that with 3 1/5. So as you can see, I've got multiple choice answers. Now I want to make sure that I'm working it out on my paper so I know that the letter that I'm selecting is the correct answer, right? I can sort of estimate this in my head, but I want to make sure that I know that I know. Okay, so down here on my paper, I'm going to add the whole numbers together. I know 2 plus 3 equals 5, right? Then I'm going to add my fractions together. 4/5 plus 1/5. Remember, when I'm adding fractions, my denominator stays the same, and I'm only adding my numerator, so 4 plus 1. Well, that's pretty easy. That's going to give me 5. All right, 5 5/5. That's my answer. Well, it doesn't match that one. That's too small. 5/10. 5 5/10. My mouse is in the way. That's not quite right. The denominator needs to stay the same. And then 6. So which one is going to be my answer? All right. Hopefully you remembered that when my numerator and my denominator are the same, it equals 1 whole, right? So then when I add this 5 and this 1, that's going to give me 6, which makes letter D my correct answer. All right, number 2. Madeline bought 12 5/8 yards of fabric. She used 6 7/8 yards of the fabric for a costume. How much fabric did Madeline have left? Okay, so if I'm starting with an amount, I'm using up some. That's the same thing as if I were getting rid of it. That tells me, and then I have this clue word down here, left. All of this information together tells me I'm subtracting. So I have 12 5/8, and I will be subtracting 6 7/8. Okay, so I was writing that off to the side. Now, when I look at this the way it is right now, it's kind of a problem, right? Because what I will be doing is only subtracting the numerators. Can I take 7 away from 5? If I have 5 cookies, can I give away 7? Nope, that's not going to work. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to make this an improper fraction. This top one, 12 5/8. I'm actually going to make them both improper fractions, and then we'll just convert it back into a mixed number. So remember, when I'm changing a mixed number to an improper fraction, that seems kind of weird, but the way we do it is I'm multiplying. These 12 wholes would each have 8 pieces, so that's really 12 times 8, which we know is 96. Then I'm going to add the 5 more pieces from this section. 96 plus 5 is going to be 101 eighths. Boy, that's a big number, right? And do the same thing down here. This 6 wholes, each of them would have 8 pieces, so that's really 6 times 8, which we know is 48. When I add 48 plus 7 more, that's going to be 55. 55 eighths. So this is kind of hard for my brain when I look at it. I like things to be lined up easy peasy. So I'm going to take my numerators and subtract them off to the side. I'll add my denominator back in. Okay. Oop, Can't subtract it that way. Can't subtract it that way. 0, 10, 9. You working it out on your paper? I hope you are. All right. Okay, so 46, and then I've got to add my denominator back in. 46 over 8. Okay, we've still got a little bit of work left. We have subtracted 46 over 8 is my answer. Now I need to make this back into an improper fraction. Remember, this is sort of like I were doing 46 divided by 8. Okay, and the closest I can get to 46 would be 5. 8 times 5 is 40. I subtract. This becomes my numerator, my remainder does. And that, my denominator stays the same as it was before. So 5 and 6/8. Let's check. Oh, good. Letter B. We found the correct answer. Now, on the second part, it says that Corey chose C as the correct answer. How did he get that answer? C is 6 2/8. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you do that part by yourself since this is Thursday. I know we didn't have face-to-face instructions. This might be a little challenging, but I want you to have baby steps of stuff by yourself. Okay, so I want you to really think about, look at the numbers here and the numbers here. How do you think he could have gotten 6 2/8 from those two numbers? What do you think he did wrong? Okay, if you need to pause the video or rewind, you are more than welcome to do so, but I'm going to keep on moving down to number 3. It says, look at Mina's work below. So Mina has 10 7/12 minus 9/12. So here's a mixed number, and here is just a regular fraction. My equal sign, this should be exactly equal to what's on this side. So 10/12 plus 7/12 minus 9/12. Okay, so this minus 9/12 matches. Here's my 7/12. 10/12. Is that the same thing as 10 wholes? We'll come back to that. You think about it. Then what they've done is they've added, or what Mina has done, I should say, she's added what's in the parentheses. So 10 plus 7 would be 17/12. Then she brought down her subtracting the 9/12. And then she subtracted. 17 minus 9 equals 8/12. Now the problem is asking us to figure out if Mina's solution is reasonable. Does it make sense? That's what reasonable means. Does it make sense? Is she correct? Okay, so a minute ago, I pointed out this part right here, right? 10, is 10 the same thing as 10/12? If I have one whole, I know that that's 12/12. Well, 10 wholes is a lot bigger than one whole, so it should be bigger than 12/12, and this is not, this is smaller. What I should have for 10 wholes, right, it would be like if I had 10 pizzas, and each of them had 12 slices. If I want to know how many slices are there all together, I would multiply 10 times 12. So basically, what Mina has done incorrectly is she's just put her whole number and put it on top of a denominator instead of multiplying. So this should be 120 over 12, because that is what 10 times 12 equals. Okay, I'm not going to tell you word for word what to write here. You can use your own words for that, but that is what she has done wrong. No, it is not reasonable, and it is because she has 10 wholes, not 10/12, and that should be 120 twelfths. Okay. Alrighty, give me 1 second. There we go. My mouse was frozen for a second. Okay, moving right along to that next page. Number 4, which statement or statements below have the same value as 4 3/5 minus 2 1/5? Circle all that apply. That tells me I'm going to have more than one correct answer. Okay, 4 3/5. This is really the same thing. I'm writing it off on the side on my piece of paper. Give me 1 second. It's difficult for me to talk and write at the same time. So what this problem is really showing us, that mixed number is really the same thing as 4 plus 3/5. That whole thing, I'm subtracting this whole thing. So remember what we've talked about. I can rearrange these because I know the commutative property, right? I could put the whole numbers together and the fractions together. So let's look at that first option. That first one shows us 4 minus 2. Okay. That lines up. Plus 3/5 minus 1/5. So this would give me 2. This would give me 2/5, 2 2/5. This plus sign here is to connect the whole number and the fraction. So I know that this might be a little confusing to see this plus sign, but letter A is actually a correct answer because this is just connecting the whole number and the fraction like we did down here. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So it'd be easier if we were in person and I could answer your questions. Now, for letter B, let's think about this logically. Okay, friends? If I look at letter B, I see this is the same. Excuse me. This right here is the same. But there's a subtraction symbol right here in the middle instead of a plus sign. So let's think about this. If this is doing the very opposite of what this is doing, and this was a correct answer, could this possibly be a correct answer? Hopefully you said no. Because what this would really be is 2, right? Because that's what 4 minus 2 is. 2 minus 2/5. That's not what we want. We want 2 2/5. So letter B, not a right answer. Letter C, 20/5. Ooh, goodness. Okay. So I'm seeing all fractions right here, which tells me they probably made these whole numbers into improper fractions. So 20/5. I know a whole number is the same thing as multiplying the whole number times the denominator. 4 times 5, 20? Yes, it is. I like to see that. Plus 3/5, right? I'm adding in that fraction, that other part. Sorry, my camera keeps getting wonky. There we go. My pen was making the focus funny. Okay, minus 10/5. Would that be the same thing as 2 wholes? 10/5? Hope you said yes. Plus 1/5. So letter C is going to be a correct answer. Now hopefully you're not terribly confused by this subtraction symbol. This is correct to be here because my plus sign is still connecting my whole number and my fraction. But overall, I am still subtracting these two whole groups. Okay, so far we've got A is correct and C is correct. Now, letter D, 7/5 minus 3/5. Does that make any sense? I don't see 7/5 anywhere on here. I'm not sure where we would even get that. Letter D is not correct. All right, let me scooch on back for just 1 second so I can scroll down. Let's see, can I fit it all? I think I can. We can talk about both of them in one scroll down. Alrighty, number 5. Jackson ordered 4 submarine sandwiches for a lunch party. So if you know what a sub is, that's what they're talking about here. Each sandwich was cut into thirds. At the party, 8 people ate 1/3 of a sandwich. How many of the sandwiches were left? Okay, let's look at the little clue right here. It says drawing a picture can help you visualize this problem. And that's exactly what I would recommend for something like this. I am definitely a visual person, so I need to see that picture. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm going to draw it off to the side here. It says 4 submarine sandwiches. So I'm going to draw 4 rectangles because that's the easiest shape for me to draw. Tried to make them sort of equal, but they're not entirely equal. Just pretend that they are, okay? And then I know that each sandwich is cut into thirds. So I'm gonna split each of these the best I can and pretend that they are exactly equal. All right, so I've got 4 sandwiches, each of them cut into thirds. Next part of my problem says that 8 people each ate 1/3. So I need to cross off 8 of these thirds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of them gone. Okay. How much of these sandwiches is left? Well, if I just count them, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/3, right? Oh, do you remember what kind of fraction we call this? Right, this is an improper fraction. We don't want to leave our final answer in that format. So I know that if I take away 3/3, that equals 1 whole. When I subtract 3 from 4, that leaves me with 1. So 1 1/3 sandwiches, don't forget to write your unit, my friends. 1 1/3 sandwiches is going to be my final answer. Okay, one last problem and we are done for today. Well, except for your iReady, right? Maybe your multiplication practice. All right, last one, number 6. Julie, Ellen, and Jenny shared a pizza. Julie ate 1/8 of the pizza. Ellen and Jenny each ate 3/8 of the pizza. Did the girls eat the whole pizza? Explain. All right. If I look at the little clue that iReady gives me, what fraction can you write to represent the whole pizza? So before I can know if they ate the whole pizza, I need to know what fraction is the whole pizza. Well, my denominator is 8. And I know that when the numerator and the denominator are the same number, that equals 1 whole. So 1 whole pizza in this scenario would be 8/8. It tells me first that Julie ate 1/8 of the pizza. And I already said Julie. Ellen and Jenny, both of them, so each one of them ate 3/8. So what I have really is 1/8 plus 3/8 plus 3/8. I'm writing that off on the side of my paper. Okay, just like this. I know that my denominator stays the same, and I'm just adding my numerators. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 more is 7. Well, what do you think? Did the girls eat the whole pizza? They ate 7/8. The whole pizza is 8/8. I'm going to let you formulate your own answer to that one because I think you can do it. Okay? All right. That's the end of this video. There will be a video for tomorrow, even though it's your math test. I'm simply going to be reading the questions aloud and giving you a few pointers because I think some of the questions are a little confusing in how they are worded. Okay, you do not have to watch the video for the test, but it will probably be helpful if you did. Okay, hope you guys have a great Thursday and have had a good e-learning week. Bye, guys.